Swamiji, pack up your Vedas and return to India. Dangerous path you are advising. This is a country where aggressive vanity, aggressive ego, aggressive competition is necessary to win. You are saying, be good, be noble, be honest. And thereby when you are noble virtues, virtuous and noble vasanas increase, your mind becomes quieter and quieter. And with a quieter mind you meditate more and more, and you shall come to realize it. Oh, what use is it? I realize. But what about the world around you? This rat race, this competitive world, this contentious world of bitter competition around me, I must have the muscles and the hard-heartedness to stampede upon others, crush their skulls, and go ahead. But I become very good, very noble. They will make me the doormat for the world. Everybody unnecessarily rubs their leg on me. Why? Because I am a roadman, I am doormat. This kind of an idea will come. Krishna is explaining, mind you, in the battlefield to a man of action, saying that realize this great truth. Is it to make him incompetent and impotent to face the worldly challenges? Can it ever be? Here he specifically points out that a man of realization is the most efficient man in the world. Man of realization doesn't mean that he is incompetent and useless and that you can go and tease him unnecessarily. Before the idea of teasing comes in your mind, he has pounced on you. Good people doesn't mean that my goodness must excite your vulgarity. Before you start thinking of vulgarity, decently twist your arms so beautifully. Nobody else will know, only you will know. And you promise that I will no more do it, but silently. Rama with his bow, Krishna with his chakra, all the deities, they came into this world, and those evil-minded, they were made to curb their evil, and good people blessed and raised them to a higher temple. Did he do that? In whatever situation. We have got a very passive attitude. Man of realization is a fellow who doesn't know how to earn his livelihood itself. He has no house at all, poor fellow. He can't even afford a wife. A useless fellow sitting down. He can't even shave properly, and therefore the beard comes out. He is a useless fellow sitting down, waiting for death. No! He is the most vibrant, brilliant, mighty man of competency and efficiency. To show that, Krishna gives these two concluding vigorous verses. But unfortunately here, these two verses are only just mentioning the idea. This is a link with which the next chapter is being introduced. These topics are exhaustively expounded in the following verse. Here is only hinted at. This is nice because you hint at something that we are going to discuss tomorrow, and then suddenly say that we will discuss it tomorrow. I want to hear that. In films, you will find a trailer for the next picture. The best portions are just slightly shown. And your inquisitiveness increased. Hey, I think that is better picture. We must come. When is it? Monday. Okay. And you have decided to come to Monday. In the same way, he is just giving a hand, and it is expounded in the next verse. So then here he says, Jara Marana Mokshaya, to liberate ourselves from Jara, old age, Marana, death, Old age and death doesn't mean that you are trying to never have wrinkles and never die. If by realization you will never die and perpetually remain, your great-great-grandchildren also, you will be there still. By that time they will keep you in a box or in a bottle. This is my great-great-great-grandfather. A labeled, that is all. And you can't move about, walk about, because you can't eat. And you shrink. Think. And when you are moving, my great-great-great-great-grandson, when he is moving from one place to another, when all the luggage is taken, last thing is great-great-great-grandfather also. And if he forgets, you mean to say that you are just living that way? That is not the idea. Jara Marana is only indicating two of the modifications. Birth, growth, decay, disease, death are the 5 changes through which every physical body must go through. Everything that is conditioned in time must go through these changes. Always the helpless, hapless conditions are old age, diseases come and die. These are miserable states. Those who are trying, those PFTs who are trying to go beyond the persecution of time and reach the timeless, the deathless, the changeless, the imperishable, the undecayed, to go beyond the decay, the wrinkles, and the death, the disaster, to reach out, those who are trying to reach out, liberate themselves from these sorrows, shackles of sorrows, and reach the state of undecaying, changeless, timeless, immutable essence. Mama Shritya Yatandide, those who are depending upon me, turning their attention to me, the timeless. Yatana, effort, putting forth all the effort of contemplation, meditation. Such people, in order to go beyond the wretchedness of time, those who are turning their attention to me, the timeless, and put forth all the necessary effort of quietening the mind and turning it in steady contemplation upon me. They Brahma Tadviduh. Indeed, they come to know that, come to experience, explode into that Brahman, that state of immutable self. They wake up into that state of consciousness. But in that process of elevating ourselves into that higher state of consciousness, Krishna Madhyatma, he has already understood this entire mechanism. Not only that he has conquered the vasanas and gone there, he has now understood completely the mechanism and the confusions in which he has lived. He has become acutely aware that it is because of my vasanas that desires, agitations and actions took place. And therefore I developed into a shell of a hard sense of individuality, the ego, and the ego got confused and wanted happiness, and it could think only in terms of acquiring and possessing the world of OET. And for that I went through this entire mechanism, you understand. In the process, when you wake up from the dream to the waking, the waker immediately in a flash understands, why did I dream? How did I dream? Where did I dream? I never went anywhere. It was all in my mind only. Nobody need explain to him. He understands. You dreaming that you are in India, or I dream in India that I am in America. When you wake up in your own bedroom, suddenly in a flash you understand, oh, it was only a dream. What do you mean in a dream? I did not go anywhere. I didn't do anything. Yeah, the whole Adhyatma, the subjective mechanism, you come to know of it. Krishna Madhyatma, karma chakhilam. Not only that, the mechanism of the inner psychological equipment is understood by the man, but also that type of performance, karma, the type of performance that emanated from. Once you have got this knowledge, in all others, he understands that he is behaving that way. Why? Immediately you understand and sympathize his mental confusions. And therefore he did it. Because of that urge in him, that vasana in him, you understand the whole thing. And when you understand the others better, your performance and efficiency in controlling them and regulating them and getting the right performance from them becomes more. And this is called management. Management is a science where the science of getting your work done through others. This is the shameless definition of management. Printed. Management is a science that explains how to get your work done through others. If that I have to get my work done through others, I must have the sense of management. How can I get the work done through others? Unless I know their mechanism. Therefore, sometimes I feed their weakness. Sometimes I try to regulate their ideas, re-educate them, inspire them, and keep them doing work for me in order that my work may come out. And into the bargain, they get what they want. Because they are under their vasanas, they want only a better car, a better house, 5 more bottles of bourbon. Give them all that. And their orders insist that 8 o'clock sharp you must come, till 6:30 you must be there. And this much of work I expect from you. John, Joe, everybody patting. What he wants is only a little more money. Give it. I am talking now the management. How do you manage? Satisfy their desires and get work out of them. Milk them day and night. And when they are a little tired, Monday onwards you need not come. Wish you best of luck. Meet the accountant. Fire them. Hire others. Get your work. There's a man who knows Krishnam totally, the Adhyatmic. How the other's mind works and why it is working in this way and how to best help it. A man of realization is the most competent guy in the world outside. He is not, he appears to be a very soft, nice, because he would tom the things. How beautifully Christ knew that the whole thing is already prearranged. The capitalists there and the government have already decided. Then why should I now argue unnecessarily? The pilot may advise him, please say that you never meant it. He chose to be silent. See, he has understood that I am a 2000 years earlier came into the world. A little early. People will not understand. But I have already sown the seeds. Those fishermen of Galilee will carry on. These people will never understand it. Their culture is going to be exhausted and only reported in some books in rare libraries of very rich universities. Even there they will start selling it. He has understood because it has become sick. That culture has become sick and it is perishing. It will take time only. But I have sown the seeds. These will keep the garden dry. The old ones will die away. Never mind. My work is done. I don't want to play with them and talk to them. And what will they do? They will hammer me into a cross. That is a maximum that they can do. But I am not the body. I am the son of God. I am not the body. What they can do is only hammer my body. If you, out of anger to the Swamiji, and you saw my shirt drying up, you took the shirt and hammered the shirt all over. And the shirt is moving in the breeze. And you are very happy. Hammered the Swami down. I will also stand with you and enjoy the whole thing. In what part of me is destroyed when you hammer my coat or my shirt on a cross? One who has risen from the body and has become one with our higher state of consciousness, you can't kill him. You can't destroy him. Think. They're such masters. When by the time they reach the higher state, they have understood the entire Adhyatmam. Adhyatmam, the inner personality and their behaviorism, is all understood. That he understands how the other's mind functions, why they are behaving, what are the motivations behind them. Once thus you know the people and their tendencies, you are forewarned. You can anticipate what they will do. And therefore it is not in the outer world he is an incompetent guy. He becomes really competent. Arjuna understood, oh, I see. This state of knowledge is not merely the knowing of the higher, but you know also the entire trick of the trade, trick of Maya. Continue, the last verse.
Sadhi bhutadhi daivam mam.
Sadhi bhutadhi daivam mam.
Sadhi yajnancha ye viduhu.
Sadhi yajnam cha ye viduhu.
Prayana kalepi cha mam.
Prayana kalepi cha mam.
Te viduryukta chetasaha.
Te viduryukta chetasaha.
Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, Adhiyajna. There are three words. Bhuta, the objects, the world of objects. Daiva, the equipments that illumine them. The resplendent instruments, meaning the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, the mind and intellect, by which we contact the world outside. Yajna, this contact between the outer world and the inner equipment. The outer world, as it were, comes and offers yajna, the sacrifice. The outer world, as it were, offers to the sense organs the various sense stimuli as obliged. And it sinks into this muddy trough when consciousness flares forth. This pictorial concept has been very well known in the Vedic culture, accepted by all, and therefore these phrases became famous in the Vedic literature. So, Adhibhuta, pertaining to, associated with, all knowledge associated with the world of objects, sense objects. Adhidaiva, pertaining to the sense organs, the mind and intellect and how they function. Adhiyajna, the offerings of the world, the impact and the impinging, the world impinging upon you and I as an individual entity, the outer world of objects, sound, smell, taste, touch, form, color, etc., through the eyes, ears, nose, skin and tongue, reaches the mind. I become conscious of, what a sound, beautiful sound, what fragrance, isn't it? I come to know it, but I can't judge. The poor mind cannot judge. The mind consoles the intellect. As an executive, the intellect cannot judge it as he likes. he has to look up the precedents. So he refers to the entire memory in him. And from the memory, he interprets it. Oh, this I don't like it. Gee, I hated it all my lifetime because my vasanas are not conducive. I hate. Thus the eyes showed that the fellow is taking up the cigarette. The nose reported that the smoke has started. The mind did not know. Mind collected those informations and consulted the intellect. The intellect, with reference to the past experience, decided that it is dirty. And therefore the intellect judged what is to be done, what should be my response, and therefore told the mind. The mind informed my hand and my right hand. So I started searching for my kerchief. That is my response to it, because that fellow has got 62 chest. So I dare not say anything. If he was a thinner fellow, hey! No smoking and the running, no. Excuse me. Why? He is thin. If he is 65, even if it is written, nobody points out. If he points out, he says, You understand? So the intellect told him that, don't say anything because he has got 62. Then what am I to do? No, the response to the world outside, that is what I want to know. Make you understand. These reaction, action and reaction, the world outside impinges upon me. The stimuli are received by the mind. The mind consults the intellect decides the response, and the responses are through the instruments of action. I respond and express my response in the world outside. All these activities are pure, well conscious. The man of perfection is conscious of them all. He knows them all. He is acutely conscious of it. And such an individual, prayana kale, not only that he has realized the highest truth, but he knows the entire mechanism, every bit of it thoroughly. He is an expert in this equipment. Such an individual, prayana kale, when in the last the body is dropped, in that old end, the physical death of a master, jamam te vidu, they are able to turn their entire mental attention to me and centered in me, they leave the body. Yukta chetasa, their entire chetas, mind and intellect, yuktaha ever steadfast in me. In that experience divine, they drop the body. And while they are playing with the body, there is nothing that is untoward that he doesn't know. He realizes not only the higher self, but he realizes the entire physical equipment of himself. And he also understands and anticipates correctly how the others will respond and react under certain circumstances. Meaning that such a man of perfection lives in the world dynamically, unprejudiced by their own misinterpretations of vasanas, with neither love nor hatredness. He meets the challenges one by one. As they arise, he sees the world in its purity, not misinterpreted in terms of I and mine. He lives most excellent life, most competent existence. With this, the 7th chapter is over. There are, if you go on carefully analyzing it, you find about 30-35 hints at contemplation. Contemplation means arrow mark shows to turn our mind and intellect's attention in a certain direction. They are the lower nature, that is the higher nature. In you, And when you are meditating, the lower nature will disturb. Because there that is that we have been living for millions and millions of years. It's habitual for us. Now how am I to meditate? Learn to repeat to yourself, they are in me, I am not in them. The waves are in the ocean. The ocean is not in the waves. Like this, there are very many tips given in this chapter as exercises in meditation. That's the 7th, 8th and the 9th chapter. All the 3 chapters. Together something like 82. It can be 100 odd. It's all your choice. You can take a whole stanza as an exercise or one part of it as an indication. To learn the art of turning your mind's attention in that direction is to hold the mind at meditation. When you are thus staying on in the meditative mood, it happens. The gliding into the higher is not a deliberate act. It happens. Thus Arjuna, after being told the 6th chapter what is meditation and how it is to be done, 7th, 8th and the 9th chapters gives the various exercises of meditation. This is the development of thought in the Upanishad at this 4th point. There the stanza is over. As I have been always telling you, 30 verses are there. Try to study about 2 verses a day, so that 15 days one reading will be over. Again and again repeat the same chapter until these ideas get into you independent of the book. So that wherever you are sitting down, one idea or the other will hit you and you enter into meditative poise. Continue the morning meditation processes that have been expounded. Try to continue doing. Watch for progress, not every day or every week, but give yourself a time of about 6 months and then watch. You shall suddenly find that you have passed or moved a large area from where you were before. Those who are for the first time listening, you can know it. These 9 days, the amount of information you have reached and the clarity of vision that has come, relatively. I'm not saying that all doubts have ended, but much of the muck and false values in the mind have been realized. You realize that they have no stay or no support at all.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की, आरती सद्गुरु की।